People with disabilities took to the streets in Derry today in protest against cuts to welfare spending, most of which were announced last week, and they had strong messages for politicians.
This is a cut too far. Disabled people have a right to a life in society and not just be stuck in their homes all day. And disabled people have a right to actually not be seen as scroungers because they want to work, but the jobs simply aren't there.
It's an attack on deaf and disabled people. In particular, it's an attack on young people. My message is to Rachel Reeves. I agree with you. Balance the book, but do it in a just and fair way that doesn't depend on the backs of deaf and disabled people, older people and people on the lowest incomes.
Wake up and learn some stuff about mental health. It's not just a trivial complaint. Most disabilities are not trivial.
But the Chancellor defended the changes needed to stick to her self-imposed fiscal rules.
1 in 8 young people are not in employment, education or training. If we do nothing, we are writing off an entire generation. That cannot be right, and we will not stand for it. It is a waste of their potential and it is a waste of their futures, and we will change it.
The benefit system is devolved in Northern Ireland, but largely copies what happens in England, as funding a more generous system would have to come out of Stormont's existing budget.
There is indication that all of our politicians are on the same wavelength in that they agree that we should not be cutting this vital support to some of the most impoverished and vulnerable people in our community. And it's so important that discussions start now about how we can ensure that these people are protected.
The Executive no longer has the financial ability to mitigate against them. We have been mitigating against austerity for this last 14 years, and we already mitigate against, for instance, the bedroom tax. We have a significant investment in rates rebates as well, and other measures which have already been introduced by previous governments.
Today was not a budget, so no further tax rises, which will be welcome news for businesses like this carpet manufacturer in Portadown. Employers are still reeling from the last budget, with an increase in national insurance contributions coming into effect from next week.
That is adding around about £2 million worth of cost directly onto all our UK businesses, which is a very substantial, and certainly it was very much not signalled at all by the government. So it's been quite a shock to absorb. We've had somewhat of a mixed picture and a mixed message of a government that wants to prioritise business and prioritise growth, but has done the opposite.
Businesses like this one want to hear more optimism to give them the confidence to continue to invest. While the outlook for UK growth this year has been slashed, forecasts for the following years have been upgraded. Clodagh Rice, BBC Newsline.